The African Perspective with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Join us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok, where you can check out our lovely studio and see our next guest. And don't forget to download our brand new Channel Africa app on your Android or your iOS device. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you for choosing us this afternoon. Let's talk all things microlocks. Very new to me. I think I've seen them. I just didn't know, oh, that's what they're called. But let's find out more by someone who actually knows what they're talking about.
There I am. I'm alive. Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. We're looking at hair trends that are, changing every now and again. And of course, the installation of external hair attachments is quite a big thing. All right. So we are looking at microlocks that seemingly are standing out as one of the most sought after styles. Microlocks refers to tiny pencil-sized locks, as they've been described. And they are created by trained, what do they call them? Okay, we need to get the correct term and how to pronounce it correctly. But people that are actually, you have to be trained and certified to be able to do microlocks, as I understand it.
Okay.
So a lot of people are hopping on this trend, and I've seen women hop on this trend because they obviously really like and admire this natural look. The fact that they are low maintenance is another great selling point. And the ability to promote healthy hair growth is another one, because listen, women want to have beautiful, shiny, natural, gorgeous, amazing hair, because we're all on Instagram. We want to look cute, right? So unlike other trends like sister locks, I think microlocks are different. But listen, we're not the experts, okay? So we've gotten one on the show so that they can explain what's happening. In South Africa, Glowup by Didi Salon has been at the forefront of this microlocks movement as we see it. They've introduced microlocks as a full service. So the studio has built the largest microlocks community in Southern Africa. Yes, they have. And this means that they are connecting clients to trained professionals that are going to offer them some guidance throughout their hair journey. Let's speak to Likhabiso Phamotse-Monare, who is founder of Glowup by Didi Salon, so we can, understand what's happening, and maybe we can help on this bandwagon and look cool like everybody else. Likhabiso, thank you very much for joining us on Channel Africa. Pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I think perhaps because you probably heard me stumble on my words there. I don't know what the difference between sister locks is and microlocks. Is there a difference?
Yes, there is a difference. Microlocks, because we have microlocks with your natural hair, we also have microlocks as extensions. So the difference between microlocks and sister locks is in the formation of the locks. The method that is used as well is different. So that's the difference between the two. The method used and also the thinness of them.
And Likhabiso, let's talk about why it's becoming such a growing trend, not just in South Africa, but globally as well. Why are they so popular?
I think they're popular because they are more of natural look than any other. So I think now we are trying to get back to our roots, if I may say, because with microlocks, it helps us to have healthy hair. It also helps us to wake up in the morning and just brush your hair and go to work. It's easy to style as well, and the volume that it gives, it looks very gorgeous.
We love a gorgeous hairstyle any day. But for me, what I'm really enjoying about sort of looking at people's hair journeys, particularly on platforms like Instagram, is the conversation is changing around black hair. And, when we think about hairstyles like microlocks, dreadlocks, sister locks, whatever it is, it's almost challenging that stigma and misconceptions around what is beautiful or what is professional.
Mm.
I remember that big debate around professional and non-professional hair. So, what have you seen, Likhabiso, in terms of how it's shaping that conversation with women coming into your salon and requesting microlocks? I would imagine that these are obviously upwardly mobile African women who are professionals, who are high ranking in their fields. So, how does that shape the conversation? Do you think?
It has uh, brought so much confidence and in the acceptance of us having our natural hair and having to embrace that look of natural hair that we have. So people, when they come to the salon looking for the microlocks, the style, you find that it's people that are tired of using chemicals
Mm,
on their hair,
mm,
because now with chemicals it just destroys your hair. The folic the roots of your hair, they become thinner when they are manipulated by the relaxers and the chemicals that we have. So it's a very versatile style to have microlocks where you are able to do anything and everything with your hair, with your natural hair. And it's so satisfying when you see the journey, like when you install them and then you be patient, they grow, you see how long your hair can grow.
mm.
So yeah.
Hmm. We're discussing why more Africans are choosing microlocks for healthier, low maintenance hair. And we'll continue our conversation right after this. It's 10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV, ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
Tebogo and Mmatsheko from the upside.
It's 9 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time. We continue our conversation about all things microlocks. These tiny, elegant locks are redefining self-expression and confidence across Africa and globally, actually, offering a low-maintenance yet powerful way to embrace natural texture. And we continue our conversation with the founder of Glowup by Didi Salon, Likhabiso Phamotse-Monare. Likhabiso, let's talk about maintenance. How long can one keep microlocks on for? I mean, I'm a guy, I don't know how long they're supposed to last. So I'm asking for the ladies out there and also for the boyfriends who are like, yeah, baby man, you must go get microlocks. How long does it last, and what are the maintenance and routines required to keep it looking good?
With microlocks, they can be a lifelong term style. So, like I said, we can install microlocks with your natural hair, and we also have microlocks extensions, which also takes years and years for you to grow your actual, maybe natural hair with locks, and then later on take the extensions out, or just go with the your natural hair, whereby we'll be doing those micro locks and then they grow. They can grow as long as they possibly can. So it's really up to your hair type and how you take care of the locks. because it's low maintenance, yes, but in that low maintenance, you have to make sure that you do a retie every 6 to 8 weeks. Doing a retie helps in the positioning of your locks in on your head. It maintains the grid that we have on the locks, and also it helps the nutrients to be in your hair, to stay in your hair longer, because you have to moisturize it from time to time. I always say once a week at least your scalp should get oil, and then with your microlocks, you just spray a mist over them like 2 times a week so that they are always hydrated. And I think one other thing is that people with microlocks, they need to make sure that when they sleep, they put something on their head, like a satin material thing to cover that so that they are not gonna get lint. And also the usage of the products should be very low so that there are no buildup of products in your locks. That is how we maintain the microlocks.
Okay, it sounds fascinating. I guess for those that are perhaps considering, getting micro locks, let's talk about time frames for installation. If it's somebody like me who doesn't want to sit in the chair for longer than an hour, doesn't sound like this could be your hairstyle. But yeah, talk to us about time frames and also costs. If I'm using my own hair compared to if you are installing with extensions, is there a price difference there?
There is a very much difference there.
Mm.
With your natural hair, we check how the length of the hair that you have, and then it will determine the price. For example, we work with hair that if you're not, I'm talking in terms of not doing the extensions now. So the micro locks with your own hair, it means we need like 4 inches long of hair in order for us to do the micro locks. So the shorter the hair, the cheaper it becomes, and the longer the hair, the more expensive it becomes.
Mm.
Because I mean, it's like 200 and something locks, or even more. Others even have 500 locks. So we are looking at about like your 4 inches, your 6 inches could run around 4,000 and above, depending on the stylist that you chose. And with the extensions, they are very expensive. The extensions are very expensive compared to the natural hair that you might want to use. So with extensions, it takes hours and hours, even days, for you to install them. So we are looking at about 8 inches. That's from 8,000, depending on the number of locks that you are going to be installing, which we will not know until we actually do the work,
Right.
because we have different thicknesses of hair, which will determine the number of locks that you will be installing. And if your hair is long and you want extensions, it means that we are starting with your hair. We're doing the microlocks first with your hair, meaning an amount on its own on that the length of your hair. And then when we attach the extension, it means now we are installing that extension. It is another money, and also the price of the extensions. So they can be very pricey, while when you are maintaining, it's not that much of money that you'll be maintaining with.
Mm.
Let's get to know Glowup by Didi a bit better. You specialize in microlocks, but you also have a network of locticians. Tell us a bit more about that.
We specialize with locks in as broad as it is.
Okay.
So we do traditional locks, we do microlocks, we do even the temporary ones we do because both have temporary locks and the permanent locks.
Okay.
So and also in the salon, we're not just doing locks as it is because it's a whole salon. We also cater for other styles and other types of hair. So, but on my side, we do the locks. So with traditional locks, they're a little bit thicker and compared to the micro locks, and also you can dye them, you can bleach them without damage. While when we bleach our hair, it tends to flake and it doesn't give good results in the long run.
This has been really fascinating. I think, look, if you've got some money to spare and you want to experiment with good hair, then Glowup by Didi Salon is definitely the place to be if you are in South Africa. Likhabiso, thank you so much for the time and for a little masterclass on microlocks. Much appreciated and all the best. Eh?
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, thank you. So on the other side of 2 p.m., the 2 p.m. news bulletin coming through, we are going to be speaking about Fight to Save Wildlife. We're going to be catching up with Jamie Joseph in their capacity as a Zimbabwean-born, South African-raised activist who is behind an initiative known as Saving the Wild. Excited already? I know I definitely am. So stick around. That's coming through after 2 on Lindsay standing by with the news.
SABC News.